Good morning. It's early Tuesday morning and I'm heading off to Blind Bay. I just pulled out of Prevost Harbor and this is the shoreline here along the way. I believe this island here is speeding, if I'm not mistaken. I may be premature on that, I don't know. Anyway, looks like there's a little bit of fog up ahead. Hopefully it won't bother us. Otherwise, it's a nice morning. Kind of hazy, but mild. Not much wind at all. In fact, no wind, as you can see how calm the water is. But maybe we'll get the sails up later as the day progresses. I'm going to have to stop here now and charge this camera. The battery's almost empty, and I had to wait until the engine was on before I could do that. So I'm going to not be filming for a while, but I'll take some still pictures and create a slideshow. Okay, all charged up and ready to go. It worked out pretty good because of the thick fog. I wouldn't have been able to film anything anyway. But we're in the San Juan Channel now. These islands here are the Wasp Islands, and you can get through that pass. That channel there leads to Wasp Passage and also Pole Pass. And that would be kind of a shortcut to get to where we're going, Blind Bay. But I'm taking the long way around just because it's still pretty early and I thought I'd do a little sightseeing along the way. I'm still under power. There's not too much wind, and what wind there is blowing smack where I want to go. So we'll motor along here. Yeah, this is Shaw Island. And Blind Bay, where we're going, is on Shaw Island, but it's on the other side. It's a pretty good sized island. So I'm headed down and around, and we'll come back up the other side and tuck into Blind Bay. And straight up ahead, that bay there is Parks Bay. And you can see some boats back in there. That's the bay. When I first bought this boat, it was in Anacortes, and my good friend Mr. Lee helped me sail it up from Anacortes to Blaine, and we spent the night in this bay here, Parks Bay, way in the back. It's just about probably where those boats are. We're going to go around St. George Point, and then we'll be almost to the bottom of Shaw Island, and we'll go up the east side. And back in there is Prevost Harbor, and you can see the ferry tied up at the dock. I'll be loading up, getting ready to move on to the next port. Not quite sure where that's going to be, but they zoom all around me through here. There's a little better angle on Prevost Harbor, and the ferry is pulling out. He's just sounded his horn. There he is. Got a nice marina in there. Supposedly they have a policy of never turning anybody away, so I don't know what they do when they're filled up. Somebody wants to go in. Well, Mr. Sun finally broke through a little bit. Boy, it feels good to warmth of the sun on me. It's been a little chilly this morning, but this is a little better close-up of Shaw Island. We're running right along, fairly close here in the shore. Just kind of stay out of the shipping channels. This is usually a pretty heavily trafficked channel. Yeah, this is called Hicks Bay. And there's some mooring buoys in there and one boat. I've never been in there. I don't know if it's deep enough or not. Worth exploring someday, I guess. And just around this point, that'll be the south end of Shaw Island, and then we'll make a left-hand turn up what's called Upright Channel, and then follow the east shore of Shaw Island up to the top and turn back in, and we should be fairly close to Blind Bay at that point. Back in there is Squaw Bay. And then around up ahead here is Canoe Island. And on the other side behind Canoe Island is Indian Cove. And I'm getting the names of these places right off my chart. I certainly don't know them from memory. I haven't spent nearly enough time out here to get to that point yet. But that's the handy part of having a chart handy. I don't know what this is. If this is some sort of ferry or... I've never seen that before. Moving on along. A pretty good clip, whatever it is. Read anything on the side there? It's almost like a British flag or something on the side. Maybe it came down from Victoria. Anyway, he's moving. I looked at it through the binoculars, and if you can't read it in the video, that's the Victoria Clipper. It's a high-speed ferry boat that runs out of Victoria, British Columbia. Getting just a little bit of sunshine, and everything looks better in the sunshine. So I really take some more shots of the shoreline. We're coming up to the end here of Shaw Island, and we'll be turning around that point. Mr. Seal. Okay, we'll be making our turn into Harney Channel here, and this is Shaw Island, and across the way is Orcas Island. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut across the channel and come in on the Orcas Island side. The reason being that there's a ferry terminal right next to the entrance to Blind Bay. And if a ferry is either coming or going from that station, you'd sooner be on the other side of the bay to allow them plenty of room to get in and out. Then I can always cut in after it's gone. I don't know if that's absolutely necessary, but it's a trick my friend Mr. Lee told me once many years ago, and it makes sense, so I'm going to stick with it. It's the entrance to Blind Bay, just over there, and I don't see a ferry, so apparently there's really no need to cross channel. That's okay. I like Orcas Island. It's a lot of nice homes right on the shore. There's one there. I think it might be one of the most populated islands in the chain here. Yeah, there's the entrance to Blind Bay. There's a Blind Island right there, and there should be a buoy marker right in there. There's an obstruction, some rocks there, so I'll enter fairly close into Blind Island. And there is the ferry terminal. And again, there's no ferry there. But you never know, they can come up pretty quick. Okay, anchor down. We're set. We're in Blind Bay on Shaw Island. And anchor's down, ready for the night. Actually, I have most of the afternoon. It's still pretty early in the day. But that's okay. I got some chores I want to do on the boat. And some reading to catch up on and make a lunch, and it's going to be a fine day. It's said that Blind Bay is one of the most protected bays in all of the San Juan, so that's good because I heard on the weather forecast it's supposed to blow a bit tonight, and hope it gets it out of its system before I head off for home tomorrow. Okay, that's it for now. Bit of a breeze blowing. I guess it's maybe 5-6 miles an hour, something like that. And I've got out extra scope because it might blow up a bit tonight. They're predicting 15 to 25 knot winds south-southwest, and this is right now blowing south-southeast. So it'll be stronger than what we got now. Normally I put out 3-to-1 scope in anchorages like this, but I got 4-to-1 out. This maybe even a little better than maybe 4.5-to-1 right now. So that should hold. My anchor is actually oversized for the boat, so I don't have usually any problems at all. That's how I like it. Well, it's getting on to evening, but it's still blowing pretty good. It was really whipping before. It's kind of calmed down now. It's probably only blowing about 15, but we had winds up to 20-25 knots earlier in the day, earlier in the afternoon I should say. But that was expected, that was forecast, so yeah, that's kind of why I left Prevost Harbor early, so I could get here before it got too kind of windy through the night, and tomorrow calm down a little bit, so hopefully we'll have a little gentler ride home. As you can see, there's not too many boats here, and it's probably the emptiest actually I've seen Blind Bay in a long time. But there you go, everybody's probably tucked in elsewhere. So I think I'll probably close for now, and tomorrow head back to Plain. So I'll see you in the morning.